All right. Hi there, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'll just be jumping in between everybody, announcing people, and then I'll have my own little bit that we'll get to later. So right now, I want to introduce Chris Remick, right here from Gilford, New Hampshire.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Chris Remick, and at the age of about 4 months, I was adopted here from South Korea. I've been living here my entire life in the Gilford community, and just overall, this community has shown that it can do great things. I've made lifelong friends here that have been so supportive, and we see it now with all of you guys here. So first off, just thank you guys so much for showing up. This means a lot to everybody. So I know that tonight is about uplifting Black lives, and it's a little weird because I'm an Asian man sitting in front of you all. I hope that me just sharing my experiences with racism in this community helps you get a little bit of a better understanding, and also my perspective can also help you guys understand the role non-Black people of color and white people need to take in order to make this a better community. So the first story I wanted to share was when I was 12 years old. I was very passionate about the game of basketball. Still am. Love playing it. It's my favorite thing to do. Could not stop talking about it. And when I was 12 years old, it was my last year at Gilford Rec Department for basketball. And finally made the all-star team. I was super proud of myself. Unfortunately, a couple of my friends didn't make the team, and they were very upset about that. The next school day, after the teams were announced, they were ignoring me for a little bit. I confronted them, I asked them what was wrong. And one of my friends said, well, my parents told me that the only reason that you're any good at basketball is because your skin is brown. And the other person added, but that's okay though, because they said that's all that's good for. And you know, it's amazing because these are 11-year-old kids, and their parents' belief is being instilled upon them. And when they truly don't have the right amount of education to truly know what's going on the topic. And I share that story because it's so easy for people my age and younger to be so heavily influenced by political and just any views by their parents. And I really encourage you to challenge your parents, do the right research, and call them out on things. Because not only can you create a dialogue in which both of you are getting a better understanding of the topic, maybe your mind gets changed on the topic, maybe their mind gets changed. Bottom line is you're learning, and you have a better understanding of everything and everyone. My next story was when I was 16 years old. I was super excited to go to driver's ed, just like every other 16-year-old get their driver's license. And my first day and my last day at my first driver's ed school, my friends warned me, said that this guy's kind of a jerk, just watch out, and I said, that's okay, I can take it. So I sign up and I sit down, and it's an entire white class except for me. And the driver instructor walks in and kind of just fixates his eyes on me the entire time. He does his little introduction speech. He asks everybody if they're around from this area, so we all raise our hands. He's still looking me dead in the eyes, and he asks, are you sure about that? And I said, yes, sir, I'm from Gilford, New Hampshire. And he said, doesn't look like it, son. And so we get through the first kind of in-class session. We get to driving, and me and two other kids are with this instructor in the car. My first time ever just behind the wheel in kind of a driver's ed session. I drove around a little bit with my father and my mother, but super nervous anyways. And he just made it his goal to make me feel as uncomfortable as possible. Just going on about how people like me don't belong in New Hampshire. And people like me were born to fail classes like this. And you know, it's already a little overwhelming for a 16-year-old kid to be behind the wheel trying to keep everybody safe. And just stuff like that is not acceptable anywhere. And so my dad pulls me out of the class. He cancels the remainder of the session, and the instructor tells my dad, "Is this because I made your kid cry? Is he that weak?" And then he said, "Anyways, he's probably lying to you about the things I said." And my dad said, "I'm quite all right with that. I'll trust my son on this one." It turns out a kid in that class noticed what was going on, and he told his mother. And his mother went to that kid's high school and told everybody what happened. And that high school ended up making a rule that nobody from that high school could go to that driving school, and they ended up going out of business a couple years ago. And that just speaks to how powerful we can be as allies to everybody. It just took one person to speak up to his mother, and that inspired her to take things forward, and together we shut them down, and it was awesome. And I couldn't be more proud of those people for standing up for me. I didn't even know them. So the bottom line is, people of color, we all experience inequalities and injustices. I want to recognize that being an Asian in America, or any other race, is not the same as being black in America, which is why we need to stand together and become a strong ally for our fellow people of this community. We need to stand in solidarity with our black community and try to actively be anti-racist. Just being not racist doesn't really cut it anymore. We have been subconsciously taught to be complacent and just be okay with anti-blackness in our communities. Gilford is a caring community, and I know that because everybody here showed up, and you were loud walking, and it's just been kind of a surreal experience seeing all your faces here. Wasn't really exactly sure how many were going to show up, but it just shows what a strong community we are and how caring we are for one another. Lastly, I want to thank Chloe for inspiring me to speak here today. You're truly an amazing person and truly a strong person. And I hope through me sharing my voice today, I can do the same and inspire others to speak up. Thank you all so much for listening to what I have to say.
Crop TV.